Hey guys, it's me. Don't get the wrong idea, this isn't my camera. My camera still hasn't been fixed. This is just a little piece of crap auxiliary thing that I'm using in the meantime. I would put it on something, but it seems to just shut itself off, even while recording, if I just set it down someplace for even a few seconds. If I'm waving it around constantly, then it works. It's just one of many, many things I don't like about this thing. Can't wait to get my my real camera fixed. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Lisa. You may or may not remember in the video I made with Rebecca, my friend from France, we mentioned this person called Lisa, and I said we would talk about her some other time. Well, going to talk about her now. Lisa is my stepmom. Before any of you make the assumption that actually a surprising amount of people have, that something happened to my real mother and then my dad remarried and now I've lost my stepmother on top of that, no. My real mother is just fine. And I'm going to be okay. But I will dearly miss Lisa. She is a very significant person in my life who has done a lot to impact me, to influence me with just the inspiration of her struggle. She has been dealing with cancer for like, I don't know, about 16 years now, maybe even a little more than that, which is just amazing. She's had several operations done to try to get the tumor out. Some of the most revolutionary people of the time, just amazing surgeons, have treated her. Yet, they could never get rid of the whole thing. Because if they scraped away at too much of her brain just to get those last few corrupted cells, she might wind up brain damaged and just be a vegetable anyway. So it always grew back, even if they got most of it out. Always seemingly more powerful than before. And, well, over these last few years, as it's become more apparent that she wasn't going to be around forever, so we had to cherish what little time we had left. Well, some years ago I started a story called Pseudo-Sapien, which is supposed to mean false human, even though I now know it means false wisdom, but whatever. Anyway, when I had done like 10 pages of it, it wound up being about 285 pages, but when I had done the first 10 pages, I showed them to her just to see what she'd make of it, and she loved it. She adored it. She wanted to see more. She didn't find it hard to understand what was going on. She didn't think the art style was strange or anything like that. She just loved it. And so I made like something of a promise to myself that I would make sure I managed to finish the story in time for her to see how it ended, while she was still on this earth. And then in winter, like December of 2009, later that year, I was worried I wouldn't finish it in time because by that point, the seizures that the tumor had been causing were just so severe. It's like there weren't even any gaps between them anymore. It got from like a couple a day that last a few seconds to several throughout the day that last minutes at a time to just one constant, seemingly endless, brain-melting seizure that just wouldn't let up. And she couldn't do anything. And so they took her to the hospital, and they were almost certain that she would not survive much longer. And somehow she did. She did start to recover. One time, she even tried to walk out of the hospital, try to escape because she was sick of being there. And yeah. And then she went home, and in the following months, I managed to finish that story. And what do you know, I had almost 2 years to spare to finish it in time. Well, actually, some might think that means I had plenty of time, but it really doesn't, because from then on, she kept losing more and more of herself. I remember her suddenly realizing she was no longer able to type emails to her family members who lived in other states. She lacked the coordination or the focus to do it, and she just kept losing other things over time. She eventually couldn't walk or prepare her own meals. She eventually couldn't talk. And then earlier this year, about 8 months ago, she entered what they call the dying phase, which is where your body just gives up completely on actually trying to fight off the cancer and just starts shutting everything down. And usually this lasts a few days, maybe a few weeks, and like on occasion a few months tops, like no more than that. So just that she's managed to last so long, like most of a year, while in the dying phase, to survive that long is just outstanding. Some have said it's almost impossible, and yet somehow she did it. And she put up a really great fight. I just want you to know she was not in pain this last year or so while in this phase. She was constantly comforted, and she was given these medications that made it so she wouldn't feel seizures or anything like that. And she died pretty peacefully. Funny thing is, last night I called my dad just to see how things were going, and what do you know, he said it was interesting that I called because she had died like just a moment before. How about that? And yeah, it's just really crazy. It was like a scene out of a movie. Another thing that's really amazing is the other day, no, not the other day, like the other month. Well, when Rebecca came here, we had been friends for like 4 years, and for most of that time, I had been telling her about Lisa as her life was changing. So you have to imagine what it must be like for this person to hear about someone so amazing I mean, it was just who struggled so much for like so long, and to actually meet that person just must have been a sort of life-changing experience, because Lisa just barely managed to live long enough for this person to meet her. And I don't know, it's just a lot of things like that that I could talk about, but I feel like wrapping this up fairly soon. Last night, when I was telling my other folks about what I had just been told on the phone, I told them that Lisa had gone away. I know this sounds really fucked up, but I actually kind of smiled when I said that Lisa had died just moments before. I actually felt kind of elated, because I knew that she had been through a lot, and it was just nice to see that she was finally relieved of the burden of being chained to this crude plane that we live in. And of course I'm sad that she's gone. Of course we're all really sad. But the reason I'm not like bawling with my tears spraying into the lens of this camera is just because we've had a long time to prepare for this. We've seen it coming for ages. And it's like it just finally happened. But you see, I'm already all cried out. I'm a lot sadder inside than I look out here. It's just I've already let all this out over the last several months. And yeah, I remember over the years not being able to go to the movies anymore because it was too much of a strain for her, not being able to go to bookstores like Borders, not even being able to go out to eat for like 15 minutes. Just lots of little things. But she was always relatively happy. Like, she was always a good sport. She wasn't the kind of person who ever complained about how her life was or anything. And I don't know, it's just a lot of people who know her have said that she's an angel just because of what a great fight she put up. And yeah, I guess that's all I can really say is just, well, I want to go back to the thing about the story that I made for her. The reason that it's so significant is because for most of my life I've been something of a scatterbrain. I wouldn't really commit to anything. I'd take on like 5 things at once and then not finish any of them because I just got bored with this thing or that thing. And, well, since she gave me the drive to finish that story, that drive has just never let up. As I move on to another thing and another thing and another thing, be it my stories or videos or whatever, I try to finish them. And I hope that that continues throughout my whole life. I hope that I maintain or retain that conviction. That flame she just set off in me keeps burning brightly. Anyway, I guess that's all I really have to say. I'm really gonna miss her. She has played a significant role in my life. My mother really loves and respects Lisa. She said that if anything ever did happen to her, she would definitely want Lisa to be the one there for us, because she thinks she's such a great person. And yeah, I'm probably gonna make a video like for Christmas or something, maybe a little slideshow, showing pictures of her and having some really soft, heartfelt music in the background. And I honestly don't feel like making reviews or anything like that right now. I mean, yeah, today at some point I am going to work a little more on the Sonic Generations review. I'm working on it a little bit every day. I am getting it done, but I don't want you guys to like pressure me to get it done as soon as possible, alright? Might get done a few days after Christmas. It's just, you know, I just really don't need that right now, considering what has just happened. So, yeah, toodles.